Joining us now, Terry Rogers, Democrat candidate for a Mississippi Agriculture Commissioner. Good morning, Terry. Thanks for joining us on Middays. Check your mic. Are you muted?
I'm sorry. Good morning,
We got
Gerard.
you.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So tell us what motivated you to jump in the race for Agriculture Commissioner.
Well, I go to a school called Jones College down in Ellisville, Mississippi, and
Mm-hmm.
there was a convention or something. I don't really know why all the farmers were there, but there were several farmers there, and some come from my own home county, and some come from Jasper County and Jones. Just the local area farms were there for some unique reason. And they were telling me about some of the indifferences they were coming with, and they were telling me, how the current agriculture commissioner, wasn't being as vocal as they want him to be, and wasn't um, how can I put it? Wasn't sticking his neck on the line like they want him to be. And they said you ought to run, and I said I won't run because you told me to. I run because God told me to. And
Hmm.
ever since then, I've been running. So the Lord, so I truly do believe God has told me to run. Um, so whenever God calls you to do something, I believe you should do it.
Gotcha. For the benefit of our audience, what exactly is the role? What are the responsibilities of the Agriculture Commissioner of Mississippi?
Well, he's the commissioner of agriculture and commerce in the state of Mississippi. His job is to, oversee our 34,700 farms will equal $10 billion in revenue.
Hmm.
And really, his main job is to produce Mississippi goods. That's why he's over at the Coliseum, the fairgrounds. You see his name, his sticker on the gas pumps. Really, he's called there to promote Mississippi goods and make sure our agriculture life is continue to blossom and boom.
Yes, it's really more of a regulatory agency. Regulates, of course,
Yeah.
agriculture and some other business aspects of our economy. What would you like to see happen? What would be your priorities should you be elected agriculture commissioner?
Well, really to go up and fight for our especially our poultry farmers and some of our catfish farms up in Washington, because those two are some of the people who are coming with me with the most problems, saying they're being somewhat neglected or of some sort, excuse me,
Hmm.
especially with things like climate change. And then you got some of our road producers, some people who produce crops. They say soil erosion and things of that nature is a big thing, as well as climate change. And they're saying they're not getting a lot of grant money that they used to, which is understandable because of how inflation is going and things of that nature. I heard you all talking about about that earlier on the show.
Hmm.
Um, and I really want to fight for our Mississippi farmers to get grant. I want to bring community gardens into each and every community in the state of Mississippi because we are a agricultural state. It employs, I believe, about 17.4% of our workforce. That's a pretty big number considering everybody in the state of Mississippi. So over 1/10 of every Mississippian works in agriculture.
Hmm.
Well, works indirectly or directly due to agriculture. And so I want to bring community gardens in there because I spoke to a woman in Tallahatchie County. She told me she has to go 55 miles to the nearest grocery store with gas being $55 a gallon, and it seems like we're paying $55 for a dozen eggs. Now, Mr. Gerard, I grew up with a silver spoon in my mouth. I can't lie, but the only reason I grew up with a silver spoon in my mouth is because my mother and father spray painted that plastic spoon silver. So I understand exactly where they're coming from in some of these issues. And I'm running, on the Democratic Party, but there is no Democratic fruit. There is no Republican fruit. I believe in a Mississippi, or one Mississippi. I don't believe in a Republican Mississippi or a Democrat Mississippi. I believe in one Mississippi, and so I'm going to fight for Mississippians. That's why I'm proud to say that I visited all 82 counties, and one of the main things that people enjoy from me is me saying I'm going to get rid of the 7% grocery tax, which is the highest grocery tax for the poorest state in the United States. It's just not right. We can find loopholes around. If we would go up about 1.5% on the sales tax, we could eliminate it. but it's just the fact that we have to have a bipartisan, well, not really even a bipartisanship, because we have a super red majority here in the state of Mississippi, and Chris McDaniel and I believe Delbert Hoseman have all came out and supported, eliminating the 7% grocery tax. After that, my article came out on Clarion Ledger, Andy Gibson even, spoke out against the 7% grocery tax. So Republicans and Democrats are standing firm up against this. I believe if a special session or something we'll call right now by Tate Reeves, I believe if both sides could sit down and talk and negotiate, I believe we could get rid of it. And I also want to work with the Department of Education to bring Future Farmers of America in each and every school in the state of Mississippi and see how we can lend our hand out, because our kids, some a lot of our kids don't even know how to make their own beds. But if a lot of us smell chicken poop, but those manufacturers are making are smelling money. So if our kids could understand and tap into some of that $10 billion in revenue in which we're making, I truly do believe we won't have our labor shortages that we have right now. Um, some of my farmers are getting killed. I tell the story a lot. I know I'm going on and on, Mr. Roy,
No,
but
please.
but I tell the story. I recently found out that it was a basketball team with 7 players on it. Somebody came up and told me that 5 out of those 7 people, including me, five out of those people who I played with were murdered. One's in jail for murder. And you're looking at the sole person who's alive and not in prison. So I truly do believe if they knew about other things, or if they could have just seen a different path, or seen a different um, area aspect of things, that change would have actually came. And a lot of them probably would have still been alive today. Um, so that's where I'm at.
Interesting. So,
Yeah.
would you feel comfortable working with the legislature, as you know that the Department of Agriculture and Commerce is responsible for regulation and just promotion of policies that help farmers and related industries, and much of that is handed down by the legislature, such as the grocery sales tax, for example. That's something that would have to be enacted by the legislature or passed by the legislature,
Right.
enacted by the governor. Do you are you comfortable with that, working directly with members of the legislature to represent the needs of the farmers and related businesses?
Correct. I believe in e pluribus unum. Out of many, we are one. So out of many agencies, I believe we're one. We're all serving the same state. Where I mean, we may have all come from different places. We may have, just like we've all came over on different ships, but we're all in the same boat. Um, so I don't have no problem working with a Republican, a Democrat, Independent. I don't even care if we elect a Libertarian or somebody a part of the Green Party. I work with them to help Mississippians get what Mississippians deserve. And I truly do believe that whenever I sit down and talk with Mississippi legislators, we all come to common ground. We may disagree on some things, we may disagree on a lot of things, but at the end of the day, it's nothing personal. It's just we're trying to put the best things out for our state. And we, sometimes always might not see eye to eye, because some people have their own opinion, just like I'm gonna have my own opinion. But at the end of the day, we're all here for one reason, and that's to help make Mississippi better and blossom.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier that in your discussions with farmers, they're talking about grant availability and climate
Mhm.
change regulation, et cetera, et cetera. Anything else you're hearing from the farmers? You also said, impressively, you visited all 82 counties, and of course, as you know, we have farmers in maybe every county, certainly a good
Yeah.
number of them. And I know that's who you're interacting with. What are they telling you? What do they need?
Uh, they really want somebody who can actually come and talk to them. I understand that many statewide officials go, oh, well, we're going on these 82 county tours. I've been
Yeah.
to 82 counties, but I want to keep going to them. Keep on talking to them, and they saying they need somebody to actually come and speak to them and actually go up to Washington and fight for them. and go up to
Okay.
Jackson, because Jackson's a mess as well as Washington.
Yeah. Well, Terry, we appreciate you coming on the program, and good luck in the campaign.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And vote Terry Rogers II on August 8th.
We're coming right back with more in the Element Wealth Studio.